Get this thing going. First of all, thank you guys so much for spending a little bit of your Tuesday evening with us. My name is Steve Schultz. I'm the Vice President of Global Sales here at the Super Patch Company. And tonight, all I'm going to do is share some information with you, okay? Some information that could literally change your life. And I know that is a big, bold statement to make, but if you act on the information that we share with you here tonight, you literally could change the financial direction of your life, and you're going to help a whole bunch of people in the process. Guys, I will tell you this. I've been with the Super Patch Company now for 14 months, and the company is growing completely out of control in a good way. Guys, we've had more people join our company today than in the first 3 months that I joined the company. All right, I got involved with the Super Patch Company back in May of 2022. So more people have come in today than in May, June, or July of 2022. So that will give you an idea of the growth of this company right now. And my job here tonight is to give you some information, okay? Please understand that's all it is information, and what you decide to do with this information is totally up to you. Now, the information that I'm going to share with you is going to sound a little bit crazy, all right? It's going to sound a little bit unbelievable. And for some of you, it's going to sound a little bit silly. And the reason I say all of that is because when I was first introduced to the Super Patch Company 14 months ago, that is exactly how I felt. I looked at it and said, this is unbelievable. I mean, this is crazy, right? This is such a radical idea. It's like, come on, how can that possibly be the case? Well, the reason I felt that way, and a lot of people feel that way about something that's introduced to them, especially a technology, because that's what I'm going to talk about here tonight, is a new technology. And a lot of times when we don't understand how the technology works, we play it off as magic. We kind of play it off as there's got to be a trick to that or something. Well, just because you don't understand exactly how it works, that doesn't mean that you can't enjoy the experience of using it every single day. Now, a perfect example of that is this little thing I have in my hand right now. And I'm guessing that you guys have one of these within 3 feet of you right now. I have no idea how this iPhone works, but I use this phone every single day, and I enjoy the benefits of it. I jump into airplanes every week. I'm not exactly sure how they fly, but I enjoy the benefit of going from point A to point B in a very short period of time. I drive my car every single day. I don't know how it works, but I enjoy going from one place to another using that vehicle. And the reason that I'm telling you all of this here tonight is because back in April of 2022, I got a phone call. I got a phone call from a gentleman by the name of Jay Dollywall. Now, Jay, I had no idea who Jay was at the time, but he is obviously the founder of the Super Patch Company. Jay called me up completely out of the blue, and he introduced himself to me, and he said, Steve, a friend of yours from Toronto told me to give you a call. I said, who's that friend? He said, your friend Dan. I said, yep, I know Dan, and Dan's on the Zoom with us here tonight. I said, Jay, what can I do for you? And he said, Steve, I want to tell you a little bit about my company, and I want to know if you would be interested in helping me build it. And I said, Jay, what do you do? Now, Jay started to explain to me that he invented this little patch, okay? And he said, Steve, I invented this little patch. He said it's 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches, and there's absolutely nothing on this patch. He said there's no drugs, there's no stimulants, there's no supplements, there's no vitamins, there's no magnets, there's no stem cell anything. He said there's nothing on it except a little pattern. And this pattern has ridges on it. And when these ridges come in contact with your skin, the receptors in your skin are able to read this pattern, and it sends a message back to your brain to fix things. And he said, I've got a patch to help people with balance, stability, and range of motion. I've got another patch to help people sleep. I've got one to help people deal with pain. I've got one for focus. I've got one for stress. I've got one for weight loss. I've got one for addiction. I've got one for cognitive decline, like ADHD and ADD. And you guys, I'm listening to Jay tell me this. I was sitting right here at this desk on my phone. I'm listening to him tell me this, and I'm literally rolling my eyes. I'm like, come on, man, this guy is wasting my time. This guy's trying to tell me that all I have to do is put this little patch on my arm, and it has nothing on it, and my pain's going to go away. I said, come on, man, this can't be. So I let him talk for a few more minutes, and I finally interrupted him, and I said, Jay, how long have you been doing this? He said, well, research and development for 12 years, but I've been marketing it now for 6. And I said, okay. I said, how you doing so far? He said, well, today I've got 6 million customers. Yeah, that's exactly what I said too. I said, I literally, my feet hit the floor. I leaned into the phone. I said, Jay, you have 6 million people that are using this technology? I said, what are you calling me for? I said, obviously you've got this thing figured out. He said, well, I'm off to a good start, but I want to get this to 1 billion people worldwide. I said, okay. I said, that's great. Now, as soon as Jay told me that he had 6 million customers, you guys, I knew I was the person who had the problem. He's got 6 million people using this, and I'm the guy rolling my eyes. It's like, come on, I'm the guy who had a problem. I said, Jay, that's amazing, but I don't get it. He said, can you come to Toronto? I said, yes. So I flew up to Toronto. I met Jay. I met his corporate staff. And he said to me, he said, Steve, I want to prove to you how this technology works. Now, he chose his words very carefully. He didn't say, I want to show you how this works. He said, I want to prove to you how this technology works. He didn't call it a product. He called it a technology. He's going to prove how the technology works. I said, okay. So he said, Steve, I'm going to do this little balance test with you. And I'm just going to show you guys kind of what he did to me. He said, Steve, I want you to stand up, put your feet together, and make 2 fists, and put one fist on top of the other fist, and hold your hands up by your chest. And all I'm going to do is push straight down on your hands. And he said, just resist me. Don't let me push your hands down. And I want you to try to maintain your balance. I'm like, all right. So he pushes down on my hands, and he knocks me off balance with no effort whatsoever. So then I said, okay. And he goes, all right, put your feet shoulder width apart, put your arms down to your side, lock your elbows, make a fist. He said, all I'm going to do is lift up on one of your arms. And when I do, don't bend your elbow and try to maintain your balance. So I'm like, all right, I'm ready for him this time. He lifts up on my arm and he knocks me off balance with no effort whatsoever. So then he says, all right, Steve, I need you to roll up your sleeve and I'm going to put this Liberty patch on your arm. And he showed it to me once again. He goes, look, there's nothing on this patch. I'm like, all right. So I put it on my arm and he goes, let's redo the balance test. I put my feet together, fist over fist. He pushes down on my hands and he can't move me. You guys, he can't budge me. And I looked at him and I said, Jay, how'd you do that? Because I thought he was playing a trick on me. I thought it was magic. I said, how did you do that? He didn't even answer me. He goes, put your feet shoulder width apart, put your arms down to your side, lock your elbows. I'm ready for him. He lifts up on my arm and he can't move me. But you guys, he can't move me a millimeter. He would have broke my arm before he would have moved me. I said, Jay, what is this? He goes, take the patch off. So I took the patch off. I laid it on his desk. We redid the balance test. He tipped me right over. I put the patch back on, redid the balance test, and he couldn't move me. I said, Jay, what is this? He said, it's neurotechnology. And I burst out laughing. I said, so now you expect me to go home and talk to my friends about brain technology? I said, come on, man, how does it work? He goes, he gave me this long scientific explanation. And I said, Jay, that's great, but I can't explain that to my friends. I said, I don't talk like that. I can't use terms like that. He goes, here's how you explain it. And this is what got me. He said, Steve, I want you to close your eyes and hold out your hand. So I did. And he put a pen in my hand. And he said, what's in your hand right now? I said, it's a pen. He goes, how do you know? He goes, your eyes are closed. How do you know? I said, because I know what a pen feels like. He said, exactly. He said, your skin is sending a message to your brain that says, this is a pen. He said, Steve, I could have put anything in your hand and you would have known what it was without looking at it. He said, I've just figured out a way to create a pattern. And when that pattern touches your skin, the receptors in your skin read this pattern like a QR code. And it sends a message to your brain to fix things. And he said, the patch that you have on your arm right now fixes balance, stability, and range of motion. He goes, I've got one for sleep. I've got one for pain. I've got one for stress. I've got one for focus. I've got one for weight loss. And he just kept rattling all these things off. And I'm looking at him in awe. And I said, so Jay, what you're telling me then is that you have a drug-free, chemical-free solution for all of those things? He goes, yes. I said, I'm in. I said, I am 1,000% in. I said, Jay, I've been doing this for 32 years. I said, Jay, I've never seen anything like this. I said, and you have no competition. Nobody's doing what you're doing, Jay. And I told him, I said, yeah, there's patch companies out there, but they have things on their patches and it's slow release into your skin and it's supposed to do something for you. I said, nobody is doing what you're doing. I said, Jay, you've got something here that can literally change the world. And he looked at me and he said, that's why I called you. I said, okay. I said, I'm in. I said, I'm 1,000% in. I said, Jay, you know, in all my years, 32 at the time, 33 now, I said, this is by far the greatest technology product that I've ever had a chance to promote because it works instantly. All right. I want you guys to hear from Jay. All right. This is Jay, obviously on the right-hand side of the screen. In his words, I want him to describe how this technology works. This video is 1 minute long. Here we go.
Hi, everyone. It's Jay with Super Patch. I hope everyone's having a great day. People are always asking me, Jay, how do these super patches work? So today I'm going to give you guys a high-level explanation. So first things first, every physical, emotional, psychological function has a corresponding neurocode in our brains. And these neurocodes, which are just messages, sometimes get stuck or damaged for 1,000,001 reasons, but that leads to poor health, poor wellness, and even poor performance. So after 12.5 years of research at Super Patch, we actually decoded these messages. We decoded the neural code that can help and control the neurofunction of physical, emotional, and psychological function. So every single Super Patch has a pattern and ridges in it. And when these ridges come in contact with our skin, the patch uses the receptors in and on our skin to send that message to our brain. And the brain decodes it. So every single Super Patch is generating a very specific signal that's responsible for a physical, emotional, or psychological function. And that's how the Super Patches work. So all 8 Super Patches have their unique QR code that's sending a unique message that our brain decodes. And that's why we can help with so many wellness, performance benefits that people are seeing. So till next time, you guys have a great day. Talk to you soon.
Guys, a QR code for your brain, okay? Now, people are looking for help on the wellness side, and they're looking for help on the performance side. Now, when people look for wellness and performance needs, how do they normally do it? Over here on the right, through drugs and over-the-counter products and surgeries and lifestyle changes. Guys, we live in a world today where it is so accepted that people that we trust will say, I think you should take this drug, this drug, this drug, this drug, this drug, and then you're going to have to take this drug to offset the effects of that drug. Everybody's shaking your head right now because you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? And we all sit there and go, oh, okay, we'll just go do that. Guys, there's a better option because we can help people on the wellness side and on the performance side completely drug-free. It's instant and effective. It's easy to use. It's non-invasive. It's non-reactive. It's child-safe, pregnancy-safe, no diet changes, no lifestyle change, and it's affordable. Now, I want you guys to see the Super Patch technology in action. This young lady, Brandy, came to one of our meetings in Alabama a few months ago, and she came to the meeting and she had no idea why she was there. Somebody just invited her. We're walking through the information, very similar to what we're doing here tonight. And after the meeting, she said, I have a really hard time going up and down stairs. Will this help? And we kind of smiled and said, yeah, let's see. And we had Brandy walk up and down the stairs. And I want you guys to see the difference before and after wearing the Super Patch technology. It's 1 minute long. Here we go.
How many years have you had an issue going up and down the stairs?
Since I was 33, I'm 46, so you can do the math, I can't.
13 years.
Thank you.
Go ahead, please be careful. Okay, I'm gonna put the Liberty patch on her right now. And she's gonna do all of that again.
And by the way, just walking up and down this many times, usually I'm in a lot of pain too, and that's not as bad.
This is her 3rd time doing it. There you go.
Bye.